New Parliament building to be inaugurated on Sunday by Prime Minister's Sacred Sceptre in Sansad. 60,000 Parliament workers to be honoured by the Prime Minister. Home Minister has said all in the opposition have been invited. BJD, YSRCP, Akali Dal to attend the inauguration by Prime Minister of the new Parliament building. 20 opposition parties to boycott Prime Minister's inauguration. Opposition says soul of democracy has been sucked out. 1 killed, 2 injured in fresh violence in Manipur. Tension escalates in Manipur's Bishnupur district. Karnataka Congress government set to revise earlier government, that's the BJP government's laws. Review of religious head coverings like hijab, cow slaughter laws, all on the cards. Anupama actor Nitesh Pandey dies at 50. Nitesh Pandey dies of cardiac arrest. Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi, and a lot is happening around the Indian Parliament. Not just the politics inside, but all about the building as well. India is set to get a new Parliament building, which is also now at the centre of a political back and forth between the BJP-led centre and the opposition, with Prime Minister Modi set to inaugurate the new building this Sunday, while 20 opposition parties have decided to boycott the inauguration. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik's BJD, Jagan Mohan Reddy's YSRCP and the Akali Dal are the only non-NDA parties for now who have confirmed attendance.
Home
Minister Amit Shah today outlined the government's plans for a grand inauguration of India's new parliament on Sunday by the Prime Minister, including a sacred sceptre to be handed over to the Prime Minister, which was originally given to Prime Minister Nehru by Tamil priests on the eve of independence to mark the transfer of power from the British.
इस नई संरचना को रिकॉर्ड समय में बनाने के लिए करीब 60,000 के आसपास श्रम योगियों ने अपना योगदान दिया है। इस अवसर पर प्रधानमंत्री जी ये सभी श्रम योगियों का सम्मान भी करेंगे। तो सेंगोल का अर्थ बड़ा गहरा है। सेंगोल शब्द तमिल भाषा के सेम्मई शब्द से बना गया है और ये जो सेंगोल है वो चोला साम्राज्य के समय से मतलब 8वीं शताब्दी से चली आ रही आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी बड़ी विनम्रता के साथ तमिलनाडु से आए हुए अधिनियम से सेंगोल को स्वीकार करेंगे और अत्यंत आदरपूर्वक माननीय लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष के आसन के समीप सम्मान के साथ इसको स्थापित करेंगे।
This has nothing to do with politics, said the Home Minister, brushing aside questions on the boycott by 19 opposition parties of the Parliament inauguration.
हमने तो भारत सरकार ने सबको विनंती किया है कि आप उपस्थित रहिए, सब अपनी अपनी भावना के अनुसार करेंगे।
The BJP has hit back at the opposition, saying their stand is a manufactured controversy, pointing to instances where in 2010, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh inaugurated the new Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly Secretariat Complex in Chennai. In 2011, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and UPA Chairperson Sonia Gandhi inaugurated the new Assembly Complex in Manipur's capital, Imphal. While in 2019, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar inaugurated the newly constructed Central Hall of the Bihar Legislature. This as 19 opposition parties, including the Congress, announced jointly they will not attend the inauguration. A 20th party, Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM, also said they would not attend. The opposition says the Prime Minister inaugurating the building and not the President is an insult to the President and violates the Constitution.
We, Congress party, discussed with all other like-minded political parties. I am very happy to say that, including TMC, Aam Aadmi Party, all are, including BRS also. They are all in agreement with these sentiments, boycotting the inaugural function.
बीते कुछ दिनों में जब से हमें ये पता चला कि प्रधानमंत्री जी स्वयं ही नई पार्लियामेंट्री बिल्डिंग का इनॉग्रेशन करेंगे तो हम सब ने सलाह दी, सुझाव दिए, अपना पक्ष रखा कि ये जो संवैधानिक व्यवस्था है पार्लियामेंट को लेकर के, जहां महामहिम को माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया को ये इनॉग्रेशन करना चाहिए था, क्योंकि ये परंपरा के अनुकूल होता, रवायतों के अनुकूल होता, संविधान सर्वोपरि है इस भावना की पुष्टि होती, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री जी की अपनी चॉइस है.
While Congress and 18 other like-minded opposition parties have collectively decided to boycott the inauguration ceremony, TDP and YSR Congress have announced that they would be participating in the ceremony, while parties like BRS and BJD yet to make their stand public. With camera person Ashwini Mehra, this is Arvind Kejriwal for NDTV.
Meanwhile, the fault lines between the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and BJP-ruled centre seems to be deepening, as Arvind Kejriwal has been meeting opposition leaders, rallying support for its battle against the recent unexpected ordinance by the centre on appointments and transfers of top bureaucrats. The two leaders met at Matoshri, and this we are talking about Arvind Kejriwal and Uddhav Thackeray. Matoshri being the storied residence of the Thackerays in Mumbai, where Mr. Kejriwal was accompanied also by Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, among others. And Arvind Kejriwal has claimed that he has been offered all support by Uddhav Thackeray, one of the opposition leaders after Mamata Banerjee, who has actually gone ahead and openly supported Arvind Kejriwal.
प्रजातंत्र में सबसे ज्यादा महत्व जो भी लोक प्रतिनिधि होते हैं उनका होना चाहिए, और आप मतलब अरविंद जी भी है और आप पार्टी भी है, सरकार भी दिल्ली की है, उनके मैं साइड से नहीं कहता कि, लेकिन उनके बारे में जो सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने एक फैसला दिया है वो एक प्रजातंत्र के लिए आवश्यक था, लेकिन उसके खिलाफ केंद्र सरकार ने अध्यादेश लाया, तो ये कौन सा जनतंत्र है? ये तो लोगों ने चुने हुए प्रतिनिधि है, अपने लोग हैं, अपना प्रतिनिधि उन्होंने चुना है, तो उनको कुछ अधिकार होने चाहिए कि नहीं होने चाहिए?
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has held wide-ranging talks with his Australian counterpart, Anthony Albanese, aimed at boosting the ties between the two countries in areas of renewable energy, trade and defence. The issue of attack in temples in Australia was also raised.
अगर क्रिकेट की भाषा में मैं कहूं तो हमारे संबंध T20 मोड में आ गए हैं.
Describing his meeting with his Australian counterpart as constructive, Prime Minister Modi has said Anthony Albanese assured him authorities will take strict action against anyone attacking temples in Australia.
भारत और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सौहार्दपूर्ण रिश्तों को कोई भी तत्व अपने विचारों या अपने एक्शन से आघात पहुंचाए, ये हमें स्वीकार्य नहीं है.
This as Australia's Prime Minister announced the establishment of the new Australian Consulate General in Bengaluru, while Prime Minister Modi announced plans to set up an Indian Consulate General in Brisbane. Both the leaders also finalised an Australia-India migration and mobility partnership arrangement.
Prime Minister Modi and I are pleased to have just witnessed the exchange of the Australia-India Migration and Mobility Partnership Agreement. This arrangement will promote the exchange of students, graduates, researchers and business people.
Both our countries have already implemented an interim free trade agreement last year, but we are now engaged in widening the scope of that agreement into a comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. Do remember, Australia was the 13th largest trading partner of ours in 2022-23. India is Australia's largest export market for gold and chickpeas, the second largest market for coal and copper ores, and the third largest market for lead and wool. Key products of imports from Australia, meanwhile, include coal, copper ores, concentrates and petroleum. Parmeshwar Bava for NDTV.
And NDTV CSDS brings you Public Opinion, a unique survey on 9 years of Prime Minister Modi. 7,000 people across 19 states were interviewed.
Did India's global stature grow under Prime Minister Modi? We are looking at international affairs first. 63% say yes, in fact, India's global stature did grow under Prime Minister Modi. 23% said no, 14% said no response. Linked in a sense to this, is India now the most attractive investment destination? 55% said yes, in fact, people are investing in India. It is the most attractive investment destination. 27% said no, it is not. 18% said that they had no response, which in other words means that they don't have an opinion per se on this issue. The next graphic: has India's cultural capital grown? Has India's cultural capital grown? Is India now more recognized in these terms? 59% say yes, 24% say no, 17% say no response. Let's also take a look as the next graphic. Is India now a world leader under Prime Minister Narendra Modi? 54% say yes, 27% say no, 19% say that they don't have an opinion on this. So let's just introduce our panelists. We've got Ambassador Bhashwati Mukherjee with us. Thanks, ma'am, very much for being with us. Surjit Bhalla in our studio. There'll be a lot of economic issues that he's going to be talking to us as well, but that's later on. Neerja Chaudhary and Sanjay Kumar. Ambassador Bhashwati Mukherjee, let me come to you first. Is India now a world leader under Prime Minister Modi? We've always had a robust foreign policy. You've been a practitioner of India's foreign policy for several decades. What has changed in the last 9 years?
Thank you very much, Vishnu. It's a pleasure to be in your program. It's a very important issue that you raise here, and I'm looking as I speak to you at the fact that majority opinion appears to be that India has become a world leader. I think the most important difference between then, which is my 40 years in foreign service, and now, is that we have clearly been able to articulate much more forcefully our national security interests, and we have clearly been able to steer sometimes a tricky path between two completely opposing viewpoints to support what is India's core interest. That is particularly true with regard to unilateral sanctions, for instance, on Russia, with regard to the Ukraine conflict, or the fact that we know when we have to say no even to our strategic partners if it goes against our core interests, which means also, Vishnu, that we are now big enough and strong enough with a leadership which is strong enough to decide for the welfare of the Indian people and the Indian democracy and the Indian state to which you and I proudly belong, rather than to get pressured as we could have when we were weaker and less developed.
And the G20 Tourism Meet has ended peacefully in Kashmir. It was the first international meet in the valley since Article 370 was removed. In fact, it's a huge sigh of relief for the security forces as there was unprecedented blanket of security cover across Srinagar.
G20 delegates sightseeing in stunning Srinagar's Polo View market as they conclude the 3-day Kashmir visit for the third G20 Tourism Working Group meeting. Attended by 61 foreign delegates amid unprecedented security cover and China's boycott. Chang Jae-bok, South Korean ambassador who danced on Natu Natu with Telugu superstar Ram Charan, told NDTV that his Kashmir visit will remain an unforgettable memory for him despite the limitations. Today's leisure, from playing golf to visiting the Mughal gardens, comes after the meetings and G20 negotiations that India believes will have a far-reaching impact on Kashmir.
Our embassy people here in India, we also trying to understand and appreciate Indian culture. This will be an unforgettable memory for me.
जो पोटेंशियल कश्मीर में है वो कहीं नहीं है। मैं कई बार डेवोस जा चुका हूँ, ये डेवोस से भी बहुत ज्यादा सुंदर है। सबसे ज्यादा जॉब क्रिएशन टूरिज्म सेक्टर से बन के निकलेंगी और इसके लिए जो गवर्नमेंट प्रयत्न कर रही है ये आगे इसको टूरिज्म ले जाएगा और G20 में भी यही चर्चा जो हुई है सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म, ग्रीन टूरिज्म, टूरिज्म एज अ जॉब क्रिएटर और ये बहुत अच्छा डिस्कशन यहाँ रहा है।
Very beautiful experience, love it here, even though the rain, there's a little bit of rain, but we really liked it a lot. Beautiful, heaven on earth. Yesterday we did a lot of shopping. Today we intend to continue. So I think pure beauty of Kashmir and many unique products. Tourists around the world should visit Kashmir.
You got a beautiful place in here. I think it's a nice experience to be in here. So I'm really enjoying it. People here are really nice and you've got an incredible infrastructure, so people should come.
The G20 meeting in Srinagar is very important. It has been a very successful visit. Delegates from G20 countries not only holding meetings to promote tourism across the world and talking about it in Kashmir, but also this is the first such major international event in Kashmir after revocation of J&K's special constitutional position.
India's messaging to the international community is clear of a peaceful Kashmir, especially after the revocation of Article 370. With Nazir Masoodi in Srinagar, Nayantara Singh for NDTV.
Welcome back. And the new Karnataka Congress government is set to revise the earlier laws which were brought in by the earlier BJP government in Karnataka. In fact, review of religious head coverings including hijab, cow slaughter are just some of the laws that the government claims they are going to be reviewing. The new Siddaramaiah-led government in Karnataka has resolved to re-examine all controversial policy decisions of the previous government, from the ban on religious head coverings like hijab in educational institutions to anti-conversion bill and the ban on cow slaughter.
We will relook at every policy matter that the previous government has brought in.
About cow slaughter also they have
everything, like I said, cow slaughter or your anti-conversion bill or whatever executive orders that they have passed with respect to moral policing, everything will be relooked into.
This comes just a day after Chief Minister Siddaramaiah reaffirmed his government's stand on moral policing and told top police officials that the police must not look at crimes through the prism of any religion.
No moral policing will be allowed, no self-realization will be allowed. Yesterday you held a meeting also.
That is what we have instructed all the senior police officers. No self-realization, no moral policing. And to those who are making false news, and action will be initiated against such people.
प्रदेश की सरकार जो भी निर्णय लेगी वो बात अलग है. जानता हूं कि ये दोनों चीजें ये लोगों ने हाथ में कोशिश की सरकार ने, तो आने वाले दिनों में कर्नाटक में सरकार चलाने की इनको मुश्किल पैदा होगी और जो लोगों ने मैंडेट दिया है वो मैंडेट के हिसाब से काम करना चाहिए. वो मैंडेट दिया है इनको, जिन्होंने जो घोषणा की है गारंटी, वो गारंटी एक्सपायरी हुई है, उसको जल्दी रिवोक करो और उसके हिसाब से आप सरकार चलाइए.
The Karnataka High Court in October 2022 had upheld the ban on religious head coverings like hijab in educational institutions. There was a split verdict in the top court. Incidentally, former Education Minister B.C. Nagesh, who had in fact enforced the ban in educational institutions, lost the election this time. Sneha Koshi for NDTV. Well, and the real estate market has been considered a major means of consuming cash, but after demonetization and strict rules, cash dealings in the property market had reduced drastically now. After the announcement of the withdrawal of 2,000 rupee notes, the demand for buying property in cash with property dealers seems to be only on the rise. Here's the report from Mumbai.
Will the RBI's move to withdraw the rupees 2,000 notes impact the demand for property? The verdict is mixed, with some realtors vouching for a surge and others citing income tax rules that act as deterrents to cash transactions above rupees 20,000. Arvind Kejriwal, a property dealer for nearly 2 decades, pegs the rise in demand for property over the last 3 days at 5 to 7%.
इंक्वायरी अगर देखें तो 4-5% बढ़ी है, बिजनेस क्लास स्पेशली, कि जो कोई हमसे आगे पूछते हैं भाई हमको फ्लैट चाहिए, लेकिन हमारी पहली कंडीशन है हमसे कोई 2,000 रुपये का नोट लेगा क्या. बहुत से जो सर्विस क्लास लोग हैं वो लोग तो वाइट में ही प्रीफर करते हैं, या कोई ऐसे बड़े बिजनेसमैन हैं, खाली जिनके पास ब्लैक मनी का इनकम का चांसेस है वो लोग कैश में ढूंढते हैं.
Arvind Nandan, Managing Director of the international property consultant Savills India, points out that cash transactions in real estate have been declining since demonetization.
जो आज से 8-10 साल पहले तक की जो एक कमोबेश हालत थी रियल एस्टेट परचेज में, जहां बहुत बड़ी तादाद में कैश ट्रांजैक्शन होते थे, अब उतने नहीं हो पाते। दो वजह हैं, एक तो रेरा आ गया है, कई तरह की विजिलेंस हैं, कई तरह के इनेबलर्स हैं पॉलिसी के तौर पर, जो कि अब आपको बैंकिंग ट्रांजैक्शन करने के लिए प्रेरित करते हैं। एक बहुत बड़ा वर्ग था जो सिर्फ कैश से काम करता था, लेकिन अब धीरे धीरे वो भी कैश टू ऑनलाइन या कैश टू नॉन कैश में ट्रांसफर शिफ्ट हो चुके हैं।
Though 3 days is perhaps too short a period to predict a trend, many realtors in Mumbai believe that the growing interest in property after the withdrawal of Rs 2,000 notes is a short-lived one, keeping in mind the cap on cash transactions under income tax rules. With Pooja Bhardwaj and camera person Sanjay Mandal in Mumbai, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
And a 19-year-old Indian origin teen accused of deliberately crashing a rented U-Haul truck into a White House barrier told authorities that he wanted to get inside the mansion to seize power and to kill US President Joe Biden, according to media reports. US Park police arrested Sai Varshit Kandula after he crashed the truck into the security barriers on the north side of the area shortly before 10 p.m. on Monday, sending multiple pedestrians running into from the scene, according to media reports. And that's all we have for you in this bulletin. Thank you for watching.